And good morning, and welcome to another intriguing episode of Speaking Life with Dr. Sabrina. I am your host, Dr. Sabrina Jackson, the people expert. I help people with people, even if that person is themselves, because I say it all the time that we think somebody else needs help, and it's really us standing in the need of some help. And so that's what I do, and I do that in a myriad of ways. I am a clinical therapist. Rest in the power of your own tongue. And so we want to give you opportunities to just speak good things to you about you. And so the way that we do that is I have the honor to interview incredible people. I am so fortunate and blessed to know some of the best people walking on the planet, and today is no different. I have a guest who I've known for many, many years, and I am so impressed by his swag. I am impressed by the command that he has of the English language and how he speaks and teaches and moves. I am impressed that he's an author of 14 books. I am impressed that he is a preacher like none other. Oh my goodness, he can weave some words together. What? I'm just saying. And he has a level of swag, that lets you know he is in the building. And it's none other than my brother, the good Dr. Eddie Connor. Welcome.
What an honor. What an honor. With that introduction, I got to take you everywhere with me. I had to check myself before I wrecked myself. Is you talking about me?
Yes, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you. What's up, Dr. C?
It is an honor, an incredible honor. You are one of God's divas, divinely inspired, victorious, accomplished sisters. You wear your crown. You are queen, quintessentially unique, empowering everyone naturally. So it's only right to be on the show with the voice of choice, and that's you. So thank you so much.
What I tell you, it's going to be good up in here today. Good up in here today. Because when you are a wordsmither, and you are with a wordsmither. Oh, that's good.
Oh boy, that's TNT.
Because doesn't it when you hear people that's really good, doesn't it inspire you to? I got something to say.
Without a doubt.
I love it. So whenever I hear you, because I love acronyms. I use acronyms all the time. Mm-hmm. And then you use acronyms quite often.
That's true.
So I love to hear how you weave things together, because then I go, oh, shit.
That's right.
So that's a little different than just empowerment. That's going down deep into the word of the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen.
That's right.
So I love it. And so I'm excited. So do you feel like being a speaker first, or were
1 year is my Psalm 23 year?
Come on. Let me tell you something about the number 23. I love this because the number 23 is very significant in my life as well. Because I was 23 when I received my master's degree.
Wow.
And then my son, who happens to turn 30 today, got his master's degree at 23.
Unbelievable.
So we said that's what we do in our house. We just get master's degrees at 23. So I am so excited about the fact that this is 23 years.
Yeah. I wrote my first book at 23, graduated from college at 23. So
23.
We all in it.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's divinely, we didn't know that we was going to be talking about 23 like this.
We didn't know. We didn't know.
We just show up and God just said, okay, now let me release this for you. Let me give you this. Let me give you that. Let me give you this. So you were diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
At a tender age.
Yes, absolutely right.
And how old were you?
I was 15 at the time. And, just being a regular kid, I loved school. My favorite two classes in school were gym and lunch. I loved chasing girls in gym and eat them and, sit down and eat with them at lunch.
Did he say he was chasing girls at 15? Keep it real.
Without a doubt.
Keep it real, preacher.
Got to keep it real.
Keep it real.
And so I'm experiencing these. His mother has to take me to the hospital. My mother meets me there. It feels like somebody's stabbing me in my heart. And the doctors do a CT scan of the chest, need to take me to X-ray. They see my cells in my body growing so fast that they take me to surgery that they could see them growing with the naked eye. A tumor was forming around my heart, my trachea, my esophagus, my voice box. And, I use my voice for a living. And felt great coming out of surgery. Doctor says, Eddie, hold up, stop the press, wait 1 minute. You ain't going nowhere. Forget about going back to school, chasing the girls in gym, and then sit down eating with them at lunch. You have what we call NHL. I'm happy now.
Right, because that's
I'm getting ready to be the youngest on the National Hockey League team.
Yes, hey.
He says you have not one, not two, not three, but four. I'm like, $4? He's like, no, stage 4 cancer. I'm
and
like, that's a death
and
sentence.
how many stages of cancer are there?
The highest is 4.
I thought so.
Yeah. Well, that's
so
a
when
death
you
sentence.
get a stage 4 diagnosis, that's serious.
Serious.
It's been there a minute.
Oh, yeah, right.
It's been there a minute, and because we don't know, you didn't know that, and you were having chest pains, but at first you was like, well, I'm a boy.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna really say nothing.
I ain't gonna say nothing. I'll be all right.
I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah.
And I want people listening to this, especially if you have young people in your life, don't take their pains for granted. Don't say things like, 'cause I remember kids saying, "Oh, my back hurt," and you ain't got your back. You only got gristle.
Right.
You don't have no pain. You too young to have. No.
That's right.
It is very possible that you can be ill. So we have to pay attention, and we have to use compassion.
Without a doubt.
And a lot of times, because in the Black community, can I just be honest?
Come on.
In the Black community, we are tougher and harsher. Always be with us. It didn't say we had to be poor.
Come on, preacher.
Did one preacher to another. I'm just saying.
Come on with the fresh revelation.
But that is so important. And so your diagnosis of stage 4 at 15, what was your, because I do mental health. Yeah. So what was the mental thing for you at 15? What were you thinking?
Am I going to live to see my next birthday? I was thinking, am I going to be able just to kick it with the homies and my friends and this, that, and the other? What do I tell people?
Right.
Because now I'm a pariah to them. Is this contagious?
Chemo. But radiation is almost, it's like laser.
Yeah, right.
Where they're burning the mass, the tumor to get rid of it. And then the chemo is the actual medicine that they're putting in an IV.
Without a doubt.
To kill the cancerous cells, which kills regular cells as well.
Yeah, that's right. It kills not just the bad ones, but the good ones. It kills the
good ones too.
That's right.
It do. It kills the good ones.
That's right.
And so I know a good friend of mine had that same type of cancer. And I went with her to every treatment because her husband, they had 3 young children, had to work. He couldn't take off work to go. He just couldn't. Somebody had action that. I just remember that so vividly, like, we got to get the Benadryl in first.
Wow.
And then the losing of the hair.
Yeah.
And, just all of that. And then my father, God rest his soul, had colon cancer. And I just remember him getting darker.
Yep.
The chemo made him so dark. He's already my color. I'm my daddy color, so we dark people
the
anyway.
Black of the berry.
The sweet the juice. But we were, and so to see him get so dark.
Yeah.
And then the thing that was scary, like my great nephew was a baby at the time, a toddler, and his hands, the front of his hands, his palms were black. And so to see his, all of that just black was scary. Wow. So you went through this chemo and radiation, and how long?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, lost my hair.
Lost your hair.
Self-confidence, self-esteem. That's probably why I wear my hair now like it is, because A lot of brothers my age
your
rapid
age,
losing
they be
their
losing
hair.
their hair. I'm keeping mine.
I lost mine early, so I better floss with it.
So then, what were the things? I have to go here.
Yeah,
because you had a praying mama.
Without a doubt. Shout out to my mama, Dr. Janice Connor.
Dr.
Prayer warrior
Janice.
like none other.
Yes. And she's so fly and so pretty. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Class. Personified. She look good every time she comes in the building. Okay. Yeah. But what things did your mother say to you to get you through?
It's so apropos that your show is called Speaking Life, because that's what she did for me. She spoke life into my life when I was thinking death. You know, she made me want to live more than I wanted to live myself.
Wow.
Yeah, without a doubt. She would tell me, hey, Edward, she gonna use my government name.
Your whole name. Yeah, she gave it to you.
For sure.
So she can use it.
She can use it. She said, you ain't leaving here. You better take off that pity party hat. You know, she was playing healing scriptures.
Yes.
Speaking the word over my life. She was making me memorize the word.
Come on.
To where she said, hey, I can fight for you, but you're going to have to get up and fight for yourself, too.
You have to fight for yourself.
That's right.
Yes.
So, I mean, she was healing, praying, prophesying, pleading the blood, feeding me the right type of foods, too, because I had to do
But I never did it.
Really?
And I never did it because I did not want to be fat on TV. And at that time, I was 140 pounds heavier than I am today. And so I just, every time they would call me and say, well, are you ready to come here? We're going to talk. And I'm so busy.
Wow.
I'm so busy. I'm got speaking engagements. I'm busy. But I was really running because of what my own stinking thinking was. And so a bishop friend of mine said to me, daughter, when the show coming? I've been telling the people at the church that you're going to have your own show. And I said, Bishop, I can't do it.
Wow.
And he says, why? I said, because I don't want to be fat on TV. He says, do you do something different?
Wow.
Yeah, that whole do something different. If you want something different, you got to do something different. And it starts with what we think. What we think then turns into what we speak. And what we speak turns into what we see. So if you're watching right now and you're looking at your life and you don't like it, Eddie kind of says,
you got the ability to change it.
You got the ability to change it. Yes, you do. You got the ability to change it. So you get healed.
Yeah.
So 17-ish.
Right.
You cancer free. Did you get to ring the bell?
No, they didn't have that.
They ain't had no bell for me. They ain't had no bell for you?
They had no bell for me.
Oh, Lord. That sounds like a book.
No bell for me.
No bell for me.
No.
Wow. They ringing bells now, though.
Yeah, I see it.
I see it all the time. Yeah. People ringing the bell. Mm-hmm. So 17, you're cancer free. Then what do you do?
I remember being in my guidance counselor's office, and she told me, she said, Eddie, you're not going to college. Don't think about community college. She knew my favorite two classes in school were gym and lunch. She said, my grades were indicative of it. She said, pick up a trade, and that really, really got under my skin. Because I'm like, I already been through cancer. What can stop me now?
What can school do?
Right. And I'm not going to let, I'm going to use your negative words to esteem the power of my dream. And so I wrote a essay to EMU, got in on probation. They were really touched by my words. I guess I was tapping into the power of the pen.
You were tapping into the power of the pen then.
I guess I was the kingpin of the ink pen at that time.
Yes.
So, they got me in on I was admitted on academic probation.
And what year was that you got into Eastern?
2000.
In 2000. You're such a baby.
Well,
because I graduated from Eastern Michigan.
I didn't know you went to my alma mater. Get out of here.
It's my alma mater.
Well, I guess I went to yours.
Yes, because I was there. I came out of Eastern in a huge celebration in May of this year.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know.
50 years.
50 years, and we've had several different directors, and the director I was up under was Marvin Miller, an amazing, incredible singer. Just he's one of my favorite singers because you know how. Have you ever seen a singer that sings with their whole body? Yeah, they sing with their whole body. You know, he would be they're moving, and we'd be like, "Could you just sit still, sir?"
Wow!
But he sings with his whole body, and so there's a clip on YouTube of him in his kitchen singing with the late great Rance Allen, and they're singing "I Won't Complain."
Wow!
If you want to go there, look it up. Look it up under Marvin Miller and Rance Allen. But it was so good. I love music. I love music. I love gospel music. And so that's where I grew up in St. James Baptist Church, so that was music personified back in the day. But yeah, when I went to college, I sang in the gospel choir. Traveled, went to Jamaica, just all kind of places, singing.
Wow!
And going to school, getting good grades at Eastern. Good grades at Eastern.
Look at you, just talent all over the place.
And you know what's so crazy? I've always been one to really look at the landscape of a thing. So I remember being in school and taking classes that were 3 credits, and you had to take them either 3 days a week, an hour a day, like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or 2 days a week, an hour and a half, Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah, right.
But if you took your classes in the evening, you would take the class for one night, 4 hours, but you would get 4 credits. That made more sense to me. So people who were my peers were doing that scattered schedule, and I took my classes in the evening, 1 class per evening, and always had more credits. So I graduated early.
Wow. Look at you. You rigged the system.
I just learned the system. This is the thing about anything, though. If you learn the system, then you learn how to make it work for you. But if you don't know a system, you can't work it. And so I've never been one to just follow what I see other people doing, like what I saw my peers doing. I studied the system. So when I started looking at when the classes were offered, I was like, well, wait a minute. Why is this same class, but I can get 4 credits? Well, I think I like 4 credits better than 3.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And so I was always with older people because I was young, but I was in those evening. Because he said, I sent you there to go to school. I didn't send you there to work. So if you need something, ask me. I said, okay. I do. I want my own apartment. And I got it. I was the only girl, so, that's how that goes. So what I learned, though, as I was reading the notes about you, and, I've known you for quite some time, and I think I was telling somebody, I says, Eddie Connor is going to be on my show today, and I tell 2 stories about Eddie all the time. He's laughing because he knows them.
Well, one of them, at least.
He knows one because I say that one all the time. But the first story is I was partnering with the AARP to do an event for people over 50 and discussions about sex and dating and things of that nature. And I had a guest who was going to be on this panel that I was responsible for. And the guest called me and said that he had an opportunity to make some real money, some money, and that he couldn't come. Sorry. 15 minutes before we were due to start the event. And so I was like, oh, my God, I need a man on this panel right now. So I called Dr. Eddie Connor. Simpson was
Video
there.
Soul.
Yes.
BT, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the first story because he came through in a clinch. So there's nothing that Eddie Connor cannot ask me to stop and do that I'm not going to stop and do.
My mind is swirling now.
I mean, really, because you came through. And I am a very loyal person. When you're good to me, I'm going to be good to you. I'm good, period. But I'm extra good to those who are good to me. So that's the first story.
I was humbled to be honored, to be asked.
Oh, my God.
So
we had a ball, though. Didn't we have a great time? We had great pictures and stuff from it. It was really good. Yeah. So then the second story is my favorite. And it's my favorite because too often when we see people doing things that we want to do, we really started a little hateration. Yeah, not negative, but negative a little. So Eddie was on his way to do the Steve Harvey show. And he was on Instagram with pictures of him with his Louis Vuitton luggage. Louis Vuitton luggage. And he was talking about, he's on his way, to the show.
You remember the luggage.
I remember the luggage. I remember the luggage. I do. So I immediately started thinking about the fact that I wanted to do Steve Harvey. And so in my head, I was going, well, I want to be on Steve Harvey. How can I be on Steve Harvey? I got a book that, he could have his boys' parents have the book, because I wrote a book about raising black men and da-da-da-da as a single mother. And then the Holy Spirit hit me and went, Sabrina, it's not about you. It's about him. Encourage your brother. And I said, I got that one all wrong. Okay, so let me get this right. And I stopped and I sent him a text that I'm encouraging him and told him to have a great time and checked myself. Because so sometimes we so busy checking other folk, we don't take time to check ourselves. So I tell the story because I want people to know that even me, I had to check myself. And in that moment, God showed me, back down, girl. It ain't your moment. Celebrate someone else's moment. And so many people have difficulty doing that. So thank you for being a part of my lesson.
I appreciate you celebrating me.
The lesson. So I remember when you did because have you done Steve Harvey more than once?
No, just that
once. Right. And you were there like dating.
Yeah, they had me on an episode
called dating.
United Dates of America.
United Dates.
Yeah. How much cash you got in the bank? What's your credit score? Just try to run the numbers up. And so Steve brought me out. He said, Dr. Eddie, and she's screaming and hollering, and she's taking interest in me. And he said, hey, before I send y'all on a date, let's all pray. I think this is the first and only time Steve prayed on TV. And he took all our hands, and she was there with her sister-in-law, and prayed that it would all go well. So we went out, and wasn't nothing to it, but I honored my commitment.
Oh, you didn't like her? I mean, you weren't attracted to her. I'm just saying. Well, did she ask you the questions about your money and stuff?
She did not. She did not.
Okay.
No, we had good conversation. She was cool. She was cool.
Okay.
Would have left it right there.
Okay, that's
no
cool.
shade.
Let's real
Nothing
briefly.
but sunlight.
I do. This is the thing.
Parents were missionaries to the island of Jamaica.
All right.
Yeah. So they were doing a lot of preaching, evangelizing, stuff like that. And so, as a kid, I'm absorbing the culture. We passing out tracts and ministering to people. And so I think it just kind of gave me a love for people at a young age, but also was able to see the depravity and the poverty in a third world country. Mm-hmm. And, but also see how people are still joyous and Spirit bear witness with my spirit.
This is my church. I love them. They had enough sense to know that somebody needed a valet.
Unbelievable.
It was lovely.
Wow.
So how often do you get back to Jamaica?
Haven't been since 2019.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was the last time I was there, of course, prior to the pandemic. Had a wonderful time.
Isn't it wonderful? It's one of my favorite places.
Oh.
Jamaica is one of my favorite places. I've had some of the best times in my life in Jamaica.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah. So I tell this story, because I am single.
All right now.
Ready to mingle.
Let it be known.
Just put it out there. I am single. But I was in Jamaica, and in Jamaica and in the islands and places like that, they like dark women. And they like dark, healthy women.
Come on now.
And so I was not prepared for that. I wasn't prepared for the type of attention that I would get, because I didn't get that attention at home. And so when I was there, every place I went, everybody, hey, you're such a beautiful black woman. Can I be your friend, lady? And I got so tired of hearing that. And so one day I was on the beach, and it was guys behind me playing soccer, which they call football over there.
Yeah.
And in my entire life, I had oh my God, his teeth looked like they were carved out of pearls. I mean, they were so white and pretty. I was like, oh wait, hold on, wait a minute. Maybe I do need to be your friend. Had a wonderful time.
Getting ready to have a Stella got a groove back moment.
But see, I always say I've never lost my groove. I've not lost it. I keep my groove. I'm not losing it. I'm not losing the groove. I keep the groove. So speaking of grooves, you got books.
That is true, yeah.
And one of the books is, what's the Queen?
Yeah, Dear Queen.
Dear Queen. Mm-hmm. And so what is that book about?
Yeah, it's a 2-volume set. Volume 1 was Dear Queen, Jewels of Wisdom to Love Yourself and Know Your Worth. And it came from me. I used to write love letters to girls in school. Yeah, I'd slip it. I used to be real shy, so I slip a love letter to a girl's locker anonymously, and word kind of got around that I was the one doing it. And so some of the fellas like, yo, man, write me one for this shorty over here. I'll give you some money, or I'll give you some pizza and chocolate milk on Fridays.
That is a movie waiting to happen, I'm just saying.
Yeah, so it just dawned on me years later. I said, hey, if I can write a letter of love to a girl, why can't I write a book of love to women? To appreciate their value, and especially the black woman.
So I have volume 1. I didn't know that there was a volume 2.
Volume 2 right here.
Okay, I gotta get it.
How to Wear Your Crown, Walk in Authority and Authenticity. Yeah. The most neglected, unprotected, and disrespected woman on the planet, as Malcolm X said, is the black woman.
It is.
And so I think we got to lift them up, celebrate them, and elevate them in any way that we possibly can.
Okay.
No.
And then this latest book.
Yes.
The Mask of Masculinity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How men can reclaim their identity, lead in love with vulnerability.
Yeah. Look at them. We like, all the women in the room went, we need to make sure every man we know has this book, because there is a thing I was talking about, and this is a great segue into what I want to ask you about. And I know that you did not know I was going to ask you, but I just figured since we were who we are, it would be a great conversation to have. One, I want to talk about the fact that Ricky Smiley lost his son yesterday. And one of the things that I appreciate about Ricky is that he is vulnerable and he is honest. So like yesterday when he got the news, he came on and he was extremely befuddled. I mean, you could just tell. He's like, I don't know where my keys are. I'm trying to get to the airport because he's trying to get there. And I think so often men in moments of pain try to suck it in.
Yeah.
Try to act like, I got to be strong for everybody else. But when do you and where do you have your moment? So what would you say to a man who is dealing with pain and the emotional and sadness and of loss? Because all of us with the pandemic have really been dealing with so much loss.
Yeah, I believe that really as men, we're more like T'Challa than Black Panther. We're more like a Clark Kent than Superman. We're more like David Banner than the Hulk. Beyond just our caricature, we really have to tap into the essence of our character. And so many times we're wearing the cape that the cape becomes a chokehold. Yeah, so to be able to relinquish the cape, to be able to tap into your identity and your masculinity through the lens of vulnerability. Vulnerability is not weakness, it's strength. And that's about honoring your humanity. To say, this is the weak moment that I'm having. It doesn't make me less than a man. It makes me just as much of a man to be able to tap in and say, this is a pain point that I really need to talk to somebody about, that I really need to just sit and rest with and deal with the emotional aspect, because so many times we're emotionally incarcerated and psychologically stigmatized to where we have to let go of all of the performative aspect of masculinity and manhood and really just tap in and say, this is what I need to deal with. I need to maybe get counseling, a multitude of counselors. There's safety.
I always say you can't have Jesus and a Dr. Sabrina.
Yeah,
you can't. You can have both.
Yeah, you can.
We're not mutually exclusive.
That's right.
You just can't have a Dr. Sabrina without Jesus. Oh, no. And you don't have to have Jesus without a Dr. Sabrina. You can have both.
That's right.
Especially with men.
Yeah.
And because a lot of times men, I don't want nobody telling me nothing. Well, how do you get to a space that you've never been? Healthy without assistance. Because the number one reason why people fail at anything that they do is coachability. When you lack the ability to take and implement feedback. Yep. So oftentimes when we get feedback we don't like, we tripping. And that's all people. We don't tell us nothing, especially when we get grown. Don't get grown and have a degree or two. Oh my God. Don't tell me nothing. Don't have some money. Money cannot buy everything. And it definitely can't buy mental wellness. Mm-hmm. And all of us have places and spaces right now that we have to really check ourselves. And so the second discussion is about the recent killing. Because we've had so many. This recent killing in Memphis, where the 5 officers that have been charged, going to take me off my square and make me messed up because I'm human. And things mess me up. And I know just hearing it messed me up. But I don't really want to see the video. I don't. But then it also reminds me of the fact of when Emmett Till's mom did what she did because she felt like people need to see. So what say you, Dr. C?
You think about what took place, and for those who did see the images and didn't even see the images, it's the self-hate that's perpetuated, amongst black people. And even is in the law enforcement aspect, who are they talking about to profile the most? People who look like you and me. Mm-hmm. And so when you look at all of that and you see the self-hate, the negativity of what is perpetuated one towards another, you think about George Floyd, you think about this brother, both called out for their mother. So these brothers as well, these can't even call them brothers, these officers who perpetuated that type of violence against another man. And you saw I saw the video, how they beat him mercilessly. But we can't exclude the white officer with the taser.
Right.
So all of them are in the same cesspool, and all should get the highest levels of, judgment from the law. Mm-hmm. But we see this continually going on, and we keep crying out, when is this going to stop? When is this going to stop? We're dealing with systemic racism, is what it is. And then we're dealing with intraracial racism.
Say that again.
Yeah.
Say that part again, because I think that's one of the things that we really don't tap into enough.
Yeah.
We are racist against each other.
Yeah.
We think working with a local station, I won't say which one it was, but it was not Fox. Fox loves me. I love them. But they told me when I came on, they says, well, we're going to put together a marketing campaign for your show. And it never happened. We took the pictures, we did all of the stuff, but they never did it. And the other thing that I noticed is that someone else who was a colleague of mine got a show on the same station. And within 2 weeks, her billboards and things and she's on the side of buses and on billboards, and she was a lighter hued woman. And so I did not think about it at that time. I really just thought because she happened to be a politician, and so I said, well, maybe that's it. But someone later told me, oh no, they wasn't going to do billboard packaging and stuff as dark as me. I'm pretty dark. I love it though. I tell me you can't handle all this chocolate. But it does cause me issues. Mm-hmm. That's just real life stuff.
Yeah. We recognize, because I had the color complex too growing up. I recognize the skin that I'm in, and I oftentimes recognize that my skin complexion is a pariah in America's eyes, that my skin is a sin. Mm-hmm. And I had to come to having that powerful self-awareness as we have, but also loving ourselves through that. And then tapping into the fact that, listen, some doors may be shut in our face, but no is new opportunity. Look at Fox Couldn't Deny You. Look at you got your own show. Look at you flowing and glowing and doing your thing.
Hey, word up.
They can't stop it. They can't stop
really
your shine, and you just turned up the brightness.
They really can't. But it does cause for you internally to have the discussion with yourself, to understand and to go beyond and not allow people to hold you back or to make you stop. Because easily I could have said, oh, well, they didn't want me, so I don't want to do nothing now.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, they don't want me. Somebody do. Somebody on the planet is talking about me.
That's right.
And then I take it a step further. They're talking about how they can pay me. I'm a money magnet.
That's come on now.
You know, when we advertised the show today, we had a clip.
You're right. Yeah.
We had a clip. Yeah. People love the clip.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Uh-oh, somebody's phone ringing. Oh,
no, just a caller.
Somebody calling. Can we talk to him?
Yeah, say something.
Hey, caller.
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on?
None. I didn't miss the discussion. I'm riding around. I'm like, usually I try to catch y'all as soon as y'all come on.
Wow. You know, I was a little slow today because I was trying to get coffee. I'm just going to be real. Ain't that terrible?
Ain't nothing wrong with that. You got to be awake in order to deliver the news.
Yes. So what's your name?
My name is Corenzo Ragland.
Well, hello, and welcome to Speaking Life with Dr. Sabrina, all over the world.
Well, that's a total blessing right there within itself.
Yes, indeed. Pleasure to connect with you, brother.
Yes, definitely a pleasure.
Well, today we're talking about, right now we were just talking about the incident with the 5 gentlemen who killed the young man in Memphis.
You know what? I was in Detroit all this weekend. I'm back home in Georgia now, and I was following that closely. Mm-hmm. That's really a shame in so many different ways. How do we go into this? Well, us killing us is a real problem within itself in the streets.
Right.
Let alone the ones that are protecting us. Now, a couple of things here. The way that they expedited this to put these cops away, to put them in jail and take away their pension, this needs to be the blueprint. As the lawyer said, this needs to be the blueprint on how we treat all officers.
Yes, I agree.
I'm not defending them because they're black. You're here to serve. You're here to serve and protect. Because I hear a lot of people saying, "Well, the white officers, this and that happened to them." You know what? We got to start looking beyond color. We got to start looking at what's
right and wrong. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And that being said, this young man, I seen some of the video. To me, it was very heartbreaking.
It was.
And very disturbing to see this man calling for his mama. This man is calling for his mama, and y'all are doing this to this man, and this man is less than 1,000 feet away from his house.
Wow, I didn't realize that. Mm-hmm.
Yes, he was like 3 blocks away. He wasn't that far away.
Wow.
He was not that far away. The man was. It reminded me of when they happened to George Floyd. He was calling for his mama, and it was so sad because, as black men in this blue outfit, this blue suit, you chose to protect the gang rather than protect the community. Mm. That's a very, very bad mistake on their behalf.
I want to thank you so much for calling in. It is the end of my show, so I got to go. But thank you, and you travel safe there in Georgia, and take care of yourself, okay?
No doubt. I will catch you again.
All righty. Take care. I want to thank My brother from another mother.
My sister from another mister.
Mr. Eddie Connor. Eddie, we know we need to do what I say. We need to do it. We just need to do it.
Build a man. What is it?
No, it's build a mate.
Build a mate. There it is.
Build a mate.
Yeah.
And so you know how you go and you build a bear?
Right.
That's the concept. But you're putting together the words, the attitudes, the things that you want to create, because I believe that the things that you put together that you want to create, you first have to make sure you have them in you.
Come on.
So then you can draw that to you. So
if you want to go to the next level, go to the eaglesacademy.com. We have an incredible academy goes on with empowerment, with teaching, with training. You're just going to 10x your life. So the eaglesacademy.com.
The Eagles Academy. He's doing great, great things. I am so excited to always be here with you every single Monday at 11:30 a.m. where we're speaking life. And I am asking and praying that God uses my tongue as the pen of a ready writer.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And so speak good things to yourself, about yourself all week. And I guarantee you your week will go great if you just speak life to you. See you next week and have a great one.